Hey guys, I'm back with yet another Black Ops success story, and good morning to all of you from India. It's actually a beautiful, sunny, and a bit cold morning in India. So this is Trisha coming to you live from New Delhi, India, and I'm super excited to be doing this live with my friend CIVI Johnson, who made $3,500 in his first week. Okay, and he had a tragedy before that. He and his wife actually lost their jobs overnight, okay, in one day, because I guess they're working at the same place. So Civi's here, and I am going to bring Civi on. Hey Civi, how are you doing? Just sending you a request to join the broadcast. Okay, there's Civi. All right, Civi, did you get the joining request? Did you get the join request? And if you haven't, then please send a request to join the broadcast. Alright guys, please bear with us. TV will be here with me soon. Oh, I just added you. It did not, you didn't get the request? I actually sent you a friend request. Oh, that's strange. Can you send me a request to join the broadcast, because Facebook really acts funny at times. Because I've already sent it to you and I can't send it again. Yeah, I cannot send it. Can you please try to send it to me to join the broadcast? Okay, let me try again. I think it takes a bit. It says it's adding. Now, did you get the request? Connecting. Ooh, there you are. Hey, Simi.
Hi. What's up?
How are you?
Sorry, I guess you
All right, guys. So
I'm great, thank you. I'm great. I guess you yeah.
Okay, I'm losing you.
You can only join on a phone, Trisha. Is that right?
Yeah, you can join on the phone.
I'll go outside where I have better Wi-Fi.
I'm not very sure though, because I've never done it on a desktop. Okay.
Sorry, maybe you
Alright, guys.
maybe you can
so in the meanwhile.
Yeah. Sorry, Trisha,
Yeah.
maybe you can just talk for 1 second while I get my battery. I'm so sorry. I have to use my phone, not my computer, because it doesn't let you do it.
That's okay. Sure, never mind. Alright guys, so Civi has joined us from the beautiful Boracay Island in the Philippines, and you can see that this beautiful greenery in his video. So it's a beautiful place, and Civi is all set. Civi is a great leader. He's helping so many people. He's a great marketer. And today I'm really super excited, to be speaking to Civi today and sharing his story with you, because once you go black, you never go back.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Awesome. Welcome, Civi. Thank you so much for sparing the time to be here on my show, Black Ops Success Stories. I'm always so excited to do this.
Me too. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So, Civi, I was just sharing with them that you and your wife lost your jobs overnight, right? So please share your story with our audience so that we can inspire them that anything can hit you at any point of time, but if you're determined enough, you gotta bounce back.
Yes, yes. This is very true, Trisha. Thank you for that. Yeah, everybody. I'll preface this by saying a quote that I live by, and I've lived by this for many years, but it was never more apparent in my life than this year when everything fell apart for us. And it's simply that you cannot control what happens to you, but you can always control your response, right?
Absolutely.
So I really had to take that into my heart and use that about 7 months ago because my wife and my wife is Russian, I'm Canadian, and we lived in Europe together for a while. And that's where we both had our master's degrees, and that's where we got educated for a hospitality world. And we moved to Singapore, and we were living the corporate life. We were both working in corporate hotels, 5-star hotels, and we moved up pretty quickly on the ladder, and we were doing our thing, but it just wasn't for us. You know, we're more entrepreneurial, we're more free spirited. The corporate mold really didn't fit our personality type, and we recognized that, and we ended up moving to the Philippines, which is where we are now in the Philippines. It's beautiful here, and we love it very much. And we moved here for the sole purpose of getting a better life balance, because I think everybody in the world, whether they realize it or not, is really trying to get a better life balance. That's the goal, right? So we're the kind of people who go after our goals, right? So we were like, okay, we're going to move to this place and we're going to become consultants rather than full-time corporate hoteliers. So that was going very well. We've been here for 7 years now in the Philippines. We're on this small island called Boracay. And this island's beautiful. It's a tourism destination. We get about 2 million tourists per year from around the
Wow.
world: China, Korea, Europe, Australia. And it's a very small island. It's only seven kilometers long, so it's very
Oh.
small. Yeah, but it's a jewel. You know, it's the number one GDP economic income for the whole country by
Wow.
far, right? By far. And so it's really the jewel of the Philippines, and it's been for a while. And we came here and we became consultants, and we did quite well. We took on a lot of nice projects. We built some hotels from the ground up, literally built and then managed, staff, get everybody trained. My wife has been running a place here called Mandala Spa, which is an award-winning spa. So they win the
Wow.
World Travel Awards for best retreats and best holistic practices and things. And my wife has been managing that for 5 years. And I have a range of hotels and nightclubs and lounges and restaurants and things that I'm invested in and that I'm consulting for and that I give my value to as a hotelier, so I can help with the service training and that kind of stuff. And it's been going very, very well for us. We've had a very comfortable life here for the last 7 years in the Philippines. And to your point of things can happen at any time, yes, they really can, because I did not see that coming, what happened to us. Now, let me tell you a horror story. Imagine you're hanging out at your house and you have just another day. It's just another day. You're going to wake up, go for a run on the beach, go for a swim. Hey, Mike, you're going to go to your consulting jobs, right? You're going to go and check up on your businesses. You're going to go check up on your dividend payments from your investments in the nightclubs, and everything's normal. But what happens? Well, if you're familiar with the Philippines right now, you're familiar with the President Duterte. Now, he's a very controversial person. People love him, people hate him. But that's what it is in the world. When people are making changes, you either have people who love you or people who hate you. And he's the same. And what he did on the island here was he decided to implement very, very, very strict rules and laws overnight. Overnight, literally overnight. He gave about 2 weeks warning, maybe a month maximum. And what he did basically was say, the economy is doing very well there on our island, but the environment is suffering. And I can tell you from firsthand experience that yes, the environment is suffering very badly. Okay, the logistics, the infrastructure, everything can't keep up with the amount of humans that are on the island. And it was the right decision in my mind what he did, but it was very difficult for people like us because we only had a month to prepare for complete closure of the island.
Oh my
Complete
God.
closure. So no tourism, nobody from the outside, no foreigners allowed. Closed. Literally no boats, no airplanes cannot come
Oh
on
my
the
God.
island. Okay? So imagine if you're sitting like me at our house and every business that I own, every consulting contract that I have, every source of income that I have, literally every source, which was my mistake, number one, came from this island. And they told us, sorry, for about the next year, you're not going to have any income. You're not going to have any guests. And there was a twofold thing that happened there. Well, threefold. We lost our income. So my wife and I both went from having a steady, solid income to having zero, okay, overnight. And the issue is, I'm a very leveraged, risky investor in general, okay? I'm over leveraged always, but I can manage it as long as there's cash flow, right? It's like Grant Cardone. He always talks about get rid of your money, sink it into investments, you know, money in the bank is dead money, this whole theory. And I've lived by that my whole life, and it does work as long as you have cash flow to back it up. And when the cash flow stops coming in, the bank doesn't care. The bank does not care. So
Absolutely.
we're still on the hook for our businesses, but the businesses are not running. Okay. And something that happens here in the Philippines, that happens around the world, predominantly in developing countries. If you're watching this in the West, if you're in the States watching or in Australia, this might be very foreign to you, what I'm going to say. But for people like me and people that have worked and built businesses in third world countries or developing countries, this is very common. Every person that's on your staff, every person that's on your payroll has a family back home where they're from in their province, right, off of the island. So say if our hotel has 50 staff members, each one of those staff members has 10 mouths that they're feeding back home in their province. 10 mouths from one paycheck. Now, when the hotel stops working, or the nightclub, or whatever it is we have, those people have no more money either, okay? So you have to make a decision as a human being, not as a business owner, not as an investor. You know, you have to be very unselfish in that moment. And I'm happy to say that myself and all of the people around us that were in positions like we are made the decision to keep the core staff on retainer, even though we weren't open. So our hotels, we would keep our managers, we would keep our supervisors, we would keep the top level management, purely for the reason that they could keep their families fed back home in their province while we were closed. So that sort of burden takes a toll on your business, and it takes a toll on your balance sheet, right, when there's no cash flow. So we all made the decision to go that route. But personally, what it does to you personally, your personal finances and your personal situation, is very rough, right? And what happened to me was, I had that happen, and it made me feel like I made a bad decision at some point, which got me to this point. I looked in the mirror and I thought, how is it that you have no cash flow? How is it that you're on the hook at the bank for business debt? And how is it that you're responsible to feed XYZ, you know, families, for example? How did you find yourself in this position? Like, I was looking at myself like, how am I here right now? And I started to have a lot of self-doubt. I started to have a lot of, you know, depression thoughts and sadness in my heart about where I was standing as a 37-year-old man. You know, like, I was thinking, what's happening here? And I had to go back to the saying, you can't control what happens to you. You can only control your response. And my response, after about a month of being depressed, okay, and I'm never depressed. I'm a very happy guy, but I was very sad at this point. My response was, number one, to decide that I have to move forward in some direction rather than just staying stagnant. Number two, that I'm not going to leave the island like a lot of people did. A lot of people just left, like a lot. I'm talking most, okay? Almost everybody. I didn't want to leave the island because this is our home and I don't want to leave it. And I knew the businesses will come back. So I had to make a move, but I wasn't going to move. But I needed money. And I've been on a personal development journey my whole life. I've been reading tons of books. I'm all about the journey of self-development. And I went on the internet looking for possible ways to earn an income because I knew that there's millions of people making millions of dollars online. I just don't know how. And when I came online, thankfully for me, I also bumped in to the same mentors. And thankfully for me, they opened my eyes to show me the simple fact that making money online in the way that we do is simply self-development disguised as a business.
That's
So when I
right.
realized this, when I realized that all of the books that I've been reading, all of the audiobooks, all of the self-help seminars, all of the webinars that I attend, that I had no interest in actually being the presenter, I would just show up and listen and learn. I realized that if you flip it and you're on the other side of that screen, if you're the one holding the pen, as they say, then you can turn that into a career. And
Exactly.
thanks to our mentors, they show us how to do that. And for me, that was the thing that pulled me out of my depression, and that was the thing that put cash flow into my bank account that I could then use to help supplement the shortcomings that we came into that were out of our control.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Guys, and well, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone who's hopping on, and thank you so much because we are in a conversation here. So I can't welcome every individual personally, but we're so grateful for you to hop on this broadcast. So from CIVI's story, you can see how scary. I don't think there could be a situation scarier than that because that's, oh my God, it really kills you. I
Yeah.
remember being in debt and I remember losing my sleep over it. And second thing, you are responsible for feeding families. I mean, that's like emotional and there's like so much of burden. You are just totally crushed. I think any person in your place would crush. And actually, this is where personal development comes into play, that you learn how to balance yourself and manage and face these situations, because that's what I think mindset, mindset is like really so important. Mindset is more important than the mechanics, so well, cheers to you, congratulations to you. And guys, I think this story is so inspiring and motivating, and it's a testimonial that whatever you might get into life, you can always come out of it, provided you have the right mindset and you work ethically. I think, if you're working to help others, God always helps you. He will always give you the means to help people. And I really believe in it, that if you work with your heart, mind, and spirit, you will always find a solution to your problems. Right, Civi?
Yes, I completely agree. I couldn't agree more. Yeah.
Okay, great. So the next question is, how did millionaire mentoring actually inspire you and change your life, change your outlook? How did it, I would like to know about this.
Sure. Yeah. So the thing about millionaire mentoring is, I mean, it's like this, guys. When you're aware that people are finding success, okay, when you're aware that people are earning thousands of dollars a day or a week online, but you don't know how to get there, right? It's like walking down a dark corridor and you have no idea where you're going, right? And you couple that with the self-doubt that comes with not knowing where you're going, it's a recipe for disaster, right? It will lead to you simply
Exactly.
buying more traffic, buying more programs, buying more courses, spending money on things because we're addicted to spending, right? We're addicted to buying things. And you feel
Absolutely.
like the more you're going to buy, the more you're going to buy, then you're going to start earning from that. What the millionaire mentoring did for me was simply open my eyes to the reality of how people actually are earning online and how they are using their personal power and showing people, literally showing people how to step into their personal power from where they've been, maybe in a place of struggle, maybe in a place of depression, maybe in a place of lack of scarcity. And the millionaire mentors, they give you an outlook because they have so much experience and so much wisdom, and they're such great people that they're willing to share their heart with you and show you and tell you things that you can only gain from experience. You can't learn this stuff without experience. So the beautiful thing is when
Exactly.
you have people around you who have been there, done that, and they're willing to give back and give back to the universe and share their wisdom with you, it inspires you because you realize that number one, you have support from people who have done it, right? And number two, you know that at the end of the tunnel where they're shining the light is your strongest self. You're standing at the end of that tunnel. And if you're with a millionaire mentor, if you're with someone who's holding a flashlight, who's made tens of millions, who's done it for 30 years, they can help you sprint down that corridor to your goal. Because you can reach your goals on your own,
That's
guys,
right.
yes, but you're going to be 70 years old by the time it happens, right? It's going to take you
Oh, you
decades to
never
learn.
even know.
Yeah, or you
You
might not,
never
but
know, Sivi,
yeah,
because both you and I know if we had not started working with our millionaire mentors, like there are so many aspects of life that we have learned. There's so many what should I say? There's so many strategies and there's so many things that we couldn't have even thought about if we were not working with them. So
yeah,
don't try to spin your wheels. You'll never get there. It's really important to get and that's the reason, we do these shows so that we can share our personal stories so that you don't feel that, oh, okay, I'm like this, nothing can happen to me. No, you can. Because Civi and I are living testimonials that you can do whatever you want, but you need a great mentor by your side. And we are so fortunate that we don't have one, but we've got two millionaire mentors who are totally amazing. I mean, like they've made millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they are sharing everything with us without holding back anything. And the best thing is, we don't do paid advertising. Whatever we do is like just with the simple strategies that we've learned from our millionaire mentors, that even a teenager, like a 17-year-old teenager without any internet experience, made $35,000 in his first month. So it's like so easy. The strategies that we use, they're like so super duper easy. So
yeah.
that's the thing, guys. That's really important. So, Sivi, tell me something, marketing point of view. Like you're so experienced, right? You've been in the hotel business and everything. So, marketing point of view, what would you like to share? What would be your advice to our audience watching us?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, the funny thing is, my experience from my personal experience from marketing with hotels, nightclubs, restaurants, beach lounges, essentially entertainment tourism is why my marketing background would be. And it's the complete opposite. From my perspective, the way I see this, the internet marketing, make money online niche space versus the traditional marketing. Now, advertisements and stuff, people that are doing advertisements for Coca-Cola and stuff, that's, to me, that looks very similar. But what I'm doing in real life here is we attract people to come to our venues for events. But the way that we do that is by providing value up front with showing them the experience they will have. So we show them a picture of the beach with the cocktail, right? We show them the people playing volleyball in the bikinis and having a great time. We show them the next hot DJ who's going to be at the nightclub, and you need to come here. It's the best DJ ever. That's how we go about that. With the internet game, now this is something, again, that I learned from the Millionaire Mentors. At the beginning of my online journey, I was going somewhat similar. I would say, come look at my product. It's the best product. You need to see what this is. It's the best thing you've ever seen. Because I was taking that model and I was using it here online. And thank God the mentors shook my head and told me, no, 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 that is not the way to do it,
No
right?
features and benefits.
No features and benefits. So my advice would be very simply, stop being a salesman and start providing value on the front. People want to do business with people that they like, people that they know, right? People that they trust, people that they can see are in it to help others. Like you said, universal deposits are where it's at. If you're just trying to sell to people, nobody wants to be sold, right? Do you know anybody who comes online and says, oh my God, I can't wait to log on today and buy that new bottle. It's white and it's got this green label. Did you see that bottle with the green label? I can't wait to get that. That's going to be amazing. No, they're coming online to look for a solution to whatever problem they have, right? The problem could be inside the bottle, right? Maybe they need that CBD oil inside there, but the problem is their cancer, right? Or the problem is they can't sleep. It's not the color of the bottle. Or another example would be people come online because they need more financial abundance in their life, like I did. That was the reason I came on, because I had no other income. My problem was cash flow. Okay, it wasn't looking to buy the new shiny program that has the best benefits and look at the leaders and look at all these comp plans. I didn't even know what that stuff meant when I came online. I was looking for cash flow. So work towards the pain point of the people rather than trying to stuff it down their throat, and you'll find success.
Absolutely. I would like to, actually quote Gary Vaynerchuk here. I really, this quote has stuck to my mind. The quote is that the best marketing strategy ever is care. And
Yeah,
that's what we also learn from our millionaire mentoring, that, care for people, build relationships, just don't go ahead and talk about your products, pitch your products. So that's the best thing that we do, that we're never ever, prospecting when you're talking to people. We're actually building relationships, and that's what they come to us on their own. Right? We don't have to actually chase people, hey, join my product, buy my product, do
yeah,
this. This is something that we'd like to, really tell you, that people, you don't talk that we learn from our millionaire mentor, that you don't talk about companies, you don't talk about products, and you definitely don't talk about the comp plan, because people really don't care how much money you're making. What they care for is how much you care for them.
yeah,
That's really, really, really important, and that's what you have to be thinking about in your marketing strategy. So they wouldn't join you because you're making money, but they will only join you if they know, like, and trust you. Companies and products actually don't matter in our business, because if you're a great leader, you can help people make money with any business, and that's what people are looking for. Most of the
yeah,
people are silently wishing to be led. That's what we
yeah.
found out, right? Right, Civi? Not everyone wants to be a leader. In fact, I was just talking to this lady the other day. She's just amazing, when it comes up to sign up people and everything. And I was really surprised when she told me that, she wants to be a follower and she can't be a leader. And you can't change the mindset. And I was like really surprised. I said, what a waste of such
Uh,
a great talent.
yeah,
that's
that's a shame.
that's really
That's a shame.
That's
Yeah,
very true. Exactly. So,
yeah.
say, what about personal development? What you mean, like you said, you do a lot of personal development, and so do I. So, what would you, tell our audience about personal development?
Um, yeah. Well, I mean, personal development is something that I think. I think everybody should be on a personal development journey of sorts, and you'll find that all peak performers in all industries, you know, anybody who you see in the world with success, it doesn't matter what industry this. I can talk about pro basketball players, pro, chess players, CEOs of companies, top online income earners like our mentors. All of these people, they have one thing in common, and that is that they are continually learning, right? Constantly learning machines. I mean, to me, it's very obvious when someone is on a personal development journey because it radiates from their energy. You can understand and feel that that person not only is confident in what they're doing, but they know that the future is bright because they know they're going to continue learning and continue growing. And when you're in that vibration, you attract other people that are also on the journey of growth and development, right? And when you're attracting those kind of people and you're around those kind of people all the time, all you do is lift each other up and grow more, versus people that are in a sort of a rut or a scarcity, or they're not responding to life. They're letting life dictate them and they're just reacting to it, and not going very well probably. If you hang around those kind of people, you'll never hear them talk about what they're reading, right? You'll never hear them talk about which conference they're going to learn from so and so. They'll never talk about marketing strategies, for example, or who their mentors are, or the newest trend in XYZ industry that they're in. They'll probably be talking about the latest sports score, or they'll be talking about maybe the news, but probably not even that, maybe a movie, right? Things like this, entertainment. So I see it very cut and dry, very simple for me. I can tell, and I'm sure you can too, when people are on a self-development journey, generally they don't speak as much as the people who are not, which is what I love. It's very funny. It's very contradictory. The people who are on the journey, who are absorbing information and knowledge and putting it into action every day and becoming a better version of themselves usually are the quietest people in the room. And the reason for that is because they know that there's things that they don't know. They are self-aware of what they don't know and that other people might know more. When people are not on a self-development journey and people are letting their ego dictate their actions and what they say, they think they know everything. So it's entertaining because when you're on this journey and the deeper and deeper you go into it, the more and more you're aware of this energy, and the more and more you can actually see people for who they really are. And that's not to say that that's a bad thing. Maybe the person's just in a bad space. Maybe they just need to get started. Okay, that's fine. But I find it very interesting because the further you go down the road of self-development, the more you can feel people that are on the similar journey, and I love that. And for me, a tip I can give about self-development, for me, one of the things that really improved my efficiency with self-development was, I guess, two things. In the morning is when I do a lot of my mental work, right? When you're fresh in the morning. Also before bed, of course, so I don't have bad dreams. That's another story. But in the morning is when I'll do like my reading and my affirmations and proclamations and all these things. And I've been doing that for years, okay? But the difference now is with technology, for example, YouTube, Audible, and books. So I use these three things. So for example, if I'm reading a book, it doesn't matter what book. I'm usually reading 4 or 5 books at once, right? So if I'm reading a book, I'll have the book, the hard copy, and I'll read that hard copy throughout the day whenever I feel like reading. I usually read about 2 hours a day throughout the day randomly. But I'll also have that book on Audible, the same book. And when I go from my motorbike to go drive somewhere or do something and I'm on the road, I put the Audible in my ears. Same book. It
Wow,
doesn't have to be the
that's
same. It
nice.
doesn't have to be the same. Yeah, it doesn't have to be the same chapter. It doesn't have to be the same time. It's just the same book, same content. I'll listen to it. And then when I'm home and I'm working on my computers, say I'm working for an hour doing a bunch of work, and then I want to take like a 10-minute break from thinking, or not from a 10-minute break from output, and I want to absorb, I'll go to YouTube and I'll maybe watch a book review, or I'll watch a summarization of a book of the same book or of something very, very similar. So I'll have 3 ways of the information entering my mind, whereas before it would just be a book. So for me, that has really improved my absorption rate. So I can absorb the content much better because it's visual, it's hearing, and it's reading. And I found that to be of great help. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much for this tip. I will be following it now on. This is actually, there's like every time you hear something or read something, things, there's so many new things that your brain catches. I've seen this. You read the same book again, you'll be
Oh, yeah.
catching different things. So that's great. Yeah, hearing, watching, and reading. Wow, I will be practicing it now on. So, Civi, I remember you do an amazing live on leadership that our mentor actually shared in our group. So, what would be your top 3 leadership tips for our people?
Okay. Yeah, leadership is, I mean, this is a leadership model, guys. If you're not aware of what this business model is that we are in, this is a leadership game, okay? The leader leads, okay? Now, the live that she's referring to is, it was a good live, and the reason it was good because it was very ironic where I was doing it. I was sitting at a hotel where I am a consultant, okay? I help them with their marketing and their events and stuff. And I was comparing the offline world to the online world with regards to leadership. So offline, as I said, I was at that hotel. Actually, I was the general manager before, right? So it's about a, I don't know, 80-room hotel. It's one of the nicer hotels here on the island. It's very busy. And I was the GM there for about 3 years. And I was comparing the fact that I was given the GM position, I was given the leadership role, right? I walked in, I applied for the job. I got the job. They said, "You're hired. Welcome to the team. You are now the leader," right? They didn't say it physically in my ear, but that's what you're implying when you're the general manager. So, okay,
Yeah.
I take my seat at my desk. All of a sudden, I have a staff of 100, and I'm the leader. Now, I was given that role. I had no choice, right? I was given the role of general manager. I was given the role of leadership, and I was expected to fulfill my duties. The difference is in the online space, you have to take the leadership role. Nobody is going to give it to you. Nobody. And I used to think they would. That was a mistake I made early on when I first started. I was waiting. I'd have my group, and I'd have my guys that were on my various teams, and I'd be like, so what are we going to do, guys? Like, what's happening? What should we do? What do you guys think? Do you want to do a webinar? When do you think we should do it? I don't even know what, like that. Whereas in reality, in the online space, you take that leadership role and you run forward doing you. You do the thing that is for you. And the ones who are hungry, the ones who are willing to put in the time, the effort, the ones that are willing to do what it takes to be an actual online entrepreneur and put in the work, they will keep up with your pace, right? So you set the time for the webinar, you set the time for the training, you book the coaching call. You're the one who creates the content. You share your funnel. You build everything. That's a leader. That's a leader. You recommend the books, right? You go on YouTube and you tell people what you're doing and why you're excited, and you get them motivated and you get them excited. That is you stepping into your true power, and that is you becoming a leader. So 3 tips for being a leader online. Okay, number 1, this is not in order, just randomly. Number 1, for sure you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent. If you're not consistent, you'll never be a leader in anything you do in life. And online, for sure, because if you're not on the people's screens giving value, where are you? You're gone, and they're going to jump to some other leader. Okay, so number 1 would be consistency. Number 2 would be when you're developing your team, when you have your prospects coming and they join you on whatever business it is you're doing, rather than continuing to bowl forward and just continue grabbing people and putting them behind you in your wake, what you need to do is get them, grab a hold of them, like lock arms with them, and show them exactly what you're doing, very transparent, and then help them get their own success out of the gate. Help them get rolling and literally tell them what I'm telling you right now. This is a leadership role. You have to be the leader. So you're creating other leaders in your organization. You're not just getting people and then moving forward to the next person. You're getting people and you're locking arms and you're becoming leaders together. That's how you build a strong team, a strong organization, a strong business for life, right? And the third thing, it pertains to leadership in a sense, just be yourself. Because at the end of the day, we attract people that are like us, or we attract people that want to be like us in some sense. So if you're not being your authentic self, you're going to attract people that aren't actually like you. If you're your authentic self, you will attract people that are authentically like you or on the same journey as you, and your energy will connect and you will have a good relationship. So then you can actually lead that person effectively, because when you communicate, you will understand each other and you'll be on the same page, right? Yeah. So consistency, make sure your team is developing as leaders. And what was the last thing I said? I lost it already. Can't remember.
That's okay. People have heard it. They can replay it. Hey Nadia, thank you so much for joining us. So guys, leadership is so important. You know what CIVI and I are doing here? This is also a form of leadership activity, because we just want you, we want to share information with you. We want to actually help you, and we want to inspire you, with our experiences and whatever we know. That's why we're doing this, right? We are showing up. A very important thing for leadership is that you have to show up. You don't have to wait for people. Hey Civi, can you help me? Or hey Trisha, help me. No, you just have to go out there and help people, and whoever resonates with you will come to you. But you're just giving away so much of free value. What Civi and I are sharing it is like so much of value here that we have actually acquired with our experience. So this is the role of the leader, that you share what you know. That's so important. You share what you know, because you're going to be helping so many people out there. And that's how people get to know, like, and trust you, that they think, all right, this person is giving so much of free value, not talking about business and products. That's how people love you. Well, thank you so much for, this insight on leadership, Civi. So what would be your recruiting tips? Top 3 recruiting tips.
Well, that would go back to my third point with leadership. I only want to do business with people that are on a journey with their own intention to be a best version of themselves, right? And people that understand that money does not fall from the sky. This is a business like any other business in the world. But the beautiful thing about this business is it's low startup and it's low risk, and it has unlimited earning potential, and you're on your own time. So my recruiting tip that I follow is simply to attract people that are like me in that way. And the way I do that, again, is back to my old point, is by being my authentic self. And people show up, right? So the first tip would be your authentic self, so people that are coming to you are the right demographic for you. Second recruiting tip, there's so many. The second recruiting tip would be, yeah, like we said, don't talk about your product and everything. But the thing is, people have a pain. People have pain. If you can solve a pain problem for somebody, right? If you can show them a proper solution to their pain, they will be with you because you are of value to them, right? So solve a pain. That would be a huge one. That's a topic for like a 5-hour live, right? Solving pain, right? So
Yeah.
attract the person that you want to attract, the person that's like you, solve their pain, and again, back to my similar point from before. Once they're in your circle, don't just leave them behind and forget about them, because when you turn them into a leader, when you turn them into a success story, they will implement the same recruiting tactics as you, and they will have similar success. And that does nothing but benefit the whole organization.
Absolutely, that's so true. So now you must be wondering, oh, what recruiting tips? So this is what, when we are talking, we in Black Ops and Millionaire Mentoring, when we're talking about recruiting, we're not talking about recruiting scripts, but this is what we are talking about, the human connection, how to add
Yeah.
value. And what we do is we just attract people. People come to us on their own, telling us that they want to work with us. So
Yeah.
that's
So
recruiting, where you're not going out there to get people, but people are coming to you. What you're doing is showing up and doing your leadership activities, just changing lives. And if
exactly.
you're thinking that you need to be a six-figure earner or you need to have a lot of money to be a leader, you need to be successful in this business, no, that's not the definition of the leader. The definition of a leader is you share what you learn. There are a lot of
Yeah.
people who will be behind you, they who wouldn't know what you know. So the Ray Higdon formula, I really love it, and I started using it when I was pretty new in my career. That's invest, learn, and teach, and that's how you become a leader. Just share
Correct.
with people and pay attention to the recruiting tips that CIVI has given, because these are our major recruiting strategies. We're not chasing people, we're not following scripts, but it's just an amazing way that we actually people come to us. Well,
Yeah.
CB, it has been such an amazing discussion here. I don't feel like ending this live, but we have to. But just before we wrap up, what would be your message to the audience?
Okay. Well, my message would be very simple. It does not matter where you are in your life right now. It literally does not matter. Okay. We know people personally that, like myself, who were at a breaking point in literally the worst moment of your life. Okay. I was there recently. Now, I'm not talking about, people passing away and really traumatic events. I'm talking more about financial sort of self-image issues. If you're in that state, all I can say to you very simply is to pick yourself up, brush yourself off, and forget about yesterday. Because the reality is, guys, if I can get out of that dark, dark, dark place that I was in 7 months ago, and just very quickly, my mindset can get to a place of abundance, and my mindset can get to a place of growth and pleasure and happy. And I can do such amazing things now, like speak to my business partners across the world about our businesses that earn us thousands of dollars weekly, right? If I can go from that to this, then there's no reason nobody else can, okay? And one point that I have to make, I make this point all the time because it's unique to me, It's unique to me because there's not many places in the world that have this anymore. Everything you see me doing online, I'm doing here in Boracay, Philippines, right? I live here. We have 1 Mbps internet speed, okay? 1. It takes me literally an hour to upload a Facebook post. I hit post, I walk away from my computer, I come back like half
Oh
an
my
hour,
God.
and it's still spinning, then it loads. When I do lives, I pay a ton of extra money because I'm using my data on my phone, but I have to because it's the only way to stream. So what I'm getting at is my tips, or my last piece of advice would be, no matter where you are, do not let life hold you down. Do not react to what's happening to you. Respond. Okay? Respond. Don't react. Don't just bounce around reacting to what's happening. Make a physical, mental, clear response and get around people who can help you get to your goal. Get around people who support you mentally. Get around people who have proven strategies to help you achieve whatever it is you're trying to achieve, right? And the beautiful thing is, we all have access to the internet. Even if it's 1 Mbps, I'm still connected. And I can connect with people all around the world and build my empire, one person at a time, with 1 Mbps, standing here in the jungles in the Philippines. Okay? So if I can pull it off here, there's no reason anybody else can't. So I wish you all the best on your
Absolutely.
journey. I hope that you have the courage to stand in your power and the courage to speak your truth and do whatever it is you're passionate about. Because the thing is, guys, with the internet nowadays, you can literally turn your passion into your income. You can make money from whatever it is you love. That's the power of the internet. And that is what our Millionaire Mentors teach us how to do. And I am eternally grateful for that.
Well, thank you so much for the amazing message, Civi. And let me tell you, Civi made 3.5 $100 in a week, first week of joining with this low internet speed. So when you actually want to be successful, you don't want to give yourself excuses, because
No
there's not. And
excuses.
I'm in India. I'm like a small town girl from India. English is not my first language, and I'm doing it, right? I'm doing it. And I'm doing well for myself. I'm happy what I'm doing, and then it's all because of Millionaire Mentoring. In fact, I've become a coach. So guys, the next thing I want to tell you is that, you know, whatever strategies we teach in and learn in Millionaire Mentoring and Black Ops can be implemented to any business. So it's not that it's just online business or a particular product. No, it can be implemented to any business. And if you're in the hotel business, actually, if you're a restaurateur or you're in the hotel business or whatever, I think Civi will be the best person to guide you, because he's also has, you know, consultancy contracts, and I'm sure you would also love to have that, because you want to work from your home, getting consultancy contracts, getting money from online. That's how you create multiple income streams, right? So if you're someone who resonates with Civi, right, and you're into the same thing like Civi, I think Civi is the best person to help you. Okay, and like I said, it's not only the hotel business or that business, but whatever strategies we teach can be implemented to any business. We've got our teammates who've got, you know, $100,000 consultancy contracts. Okay, we've got real estate professionals who've made more than 6 figures in 1 year. So this is how, you know, things work in Millionaire Mentoring. We are a group of really excited people. We love each other, we support each other, we help each other, and you've got just, you know, great people like Civi there in our group. So feel free to reach out to us, and we will be so happy to help you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
that's right. Hey Manuela, thanks for hopping on. Okay, CV, well, thank you so much, and you have a great day. I
Okay.
would love to, you know, do another live with you, because you've got a lot to that you can teach to people. So guys, Civi and I will come back with another live. This was Civi's story, but now actually Civi and I will be doing another live where Civi will be teaching you other great stuff that he knows. He's an amazing leader, and yeah, we are having a great time, and we want you also to have a great time. Life is meant to be enjoyed, and each one of you deserves great abundance. And it's Christmas time. If we can make your Christmas and New Year special, we will be so happy. All right, just reach out to us, and we will help you make these $1,000 commissions in a day that we do with our simple recruiting care strategies that we use. And like I said, it's really, really simple, because a teenager, 17-year-old teenager from Ireland, who didn't even know how to work on the computer properly, made $35,000 in his first month. So those are the strategies that our millionaire mentors have created for us, and we all feel blessed. Anyone in Black Ops will always say that we are so blessed to be having our millionaire mentors. So that's it for today. Civi, anything else you would like to say before we finish?
Not really. Just thanks a lot for having me on the live. I really appreciate it. That was a fun one. And yeah, to all you
Oh,
guys out
yes.
there, don't stop. Keep rocking it. Keep your head up, And if you're on the path and you're really feeling the good vibes and everything, go with it, man. Go with your gut. Go with your feelings, because your emotions are your #1 tuner for whatever vibrations are around you. Trust your emotions.
That's right. Well, thank you so much, Civi. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I generally don't do such long lives, but I really love talking to you, and I wanted to, just share all this with our audience. So Civi and I are signing off right now. Please feel free to reach out to us, and we will be more than happy to help you. God bless you, and lots of love. Bye.
Bye-bye.